Welcome back to Speak English Fast. I'm Thomas, and today, we're diving into a surprising topic. Did Japan become a Muslim country? Or is this just a misunderstanding? Japan is famous for its rich culture, modern cities, and ancient traditions. But in recent years, a new story has started to grow Islam in Japan. Is it really spreading fast? Are Japanese people becoming Muslim? Today, you're not just learning English, you're uncovering the real truth behind Islam in Japan. About Islam in Japan. Part 1. The Land of Japan, and the first question. Japan is one of the most famous countries in the world. It is known for its amazing technology, beautiful cities, ancient traditions, and unique culture. Millions of people around the world admire Japan because of its history, discipline, and peaceful society. But in recent years, many people have started asking an interesting question. Did Japan become a Muslim country? Some people hear stories about the growth of Islam in Japan and wonder if the whole country has changed. The answer is simple. No. Japan has not become a Muslim country. The majority of Japanese people still follow their traditional beliefs, including Shinto and Buddhism, while some people do not follow any religion. However, something interesting is happening. Islam is becoming more visible in Japan. More mosques are being built. More people are learning about Islamic culture, and some Japanese people are becoming interested in Islam. The story of Islam in Japan is not new. Muslims first came to Japan many years ago through travel, education, and international relationships. Over time, small Muslim communities started growing in different cities. Today, Japan is a country where people from many backgrounds live together. Muslims in Japan are still a small minority, but their presence is growing. In this series, we will discover the true story of Islam in Japan, how it arrived, why some Japanese people are interested in it, and what the future may look like. This is the story of Japan and Islam, a story that many people do not know. Part 2. The arrival of Islam in Japan. Long before many people knew about Islam in Japan, there were already connections between Japan and the Muslim world. These connections came through trade, travel, and cultural exchanges. In the past, Japan was not a country that had many foreign visitors. It was separated from many parts of the world for a long time. But when Japan started opening its doors to other countries, new ideas, cultures, and religions began to arrive. Muslim travelers, students, and merchants started visiting Japan. They brought with them their language, traditions, food, and beliefs. Slowly, Japanese people began learning about Islam and the people who followed it. In the early 20th century, small Muslim communities started appearing in Japan. Some Muslims came from other countries, while others stayed in Japan and built families there. One of the first mosques in Japan was built in Tokyo, becoming an important place for Muslims to gather and practice their faith. After World War II, Japan became more connected with the world. More international students and workers arrived from Muslim countries. This helped increase the number of Muslims living in Japan. Today, Islam is still a minority religion in Japan, but it has a growing presence. There are mosques, halal restaurants, and Islamic centers in different cities. The story of Islam in Japan shows how cultures can meet and influence each other. Japan has its own traditions, but it also continues to learn about different religions and communities from around the world. In the next part, we will discover why some Japanese people are becoming interested in Islam and what attracts them to this religion. Part 3. Why are some Japanese people interested in Islam? Japan is a country with a long history and a unique culture. For thousands of years, Japanese society has been shaped by traditions, family values, respect, and discipline. Most Japanese people follow Shinto or Buddhist traditions, while some do not follow any religion. However, in recent years. Some Japanese people have started showing interest in Islam. This does not mean that Japan is becoming a Muslim country, but it shows that more people are curious about different beliefs and cultures. One reason some Japanese people learn about Islam is because of personal connections. Many Japanese people meet Muslims through travel, vacation, work, or friendships. When they spend time with Muslim people, they become interested in learning more about their way of life. Another reason is the values that some people find in Islam. Concepts such as helping others, caring for family, honesty, patience, and kindness attract the attention of some Japanese people. They want to understand why Muslims follow certain traditions and how faith influences their daily lives. The growth of the internet has also played an important role. Today, people can easily watch videos, read articles, and learn about religions from around the world. Many Japanese people who had little knowledge about Islam before can now discover more information online. Food is another connection between Japan and Islam. The demand for halal food has increased as more Muslim visitors, students, and workers come to Japan. Some Japanese restaurants have started offering halal options to welcome more customers. Travel has also created more understanding. When Japanese people visit Muslim-majority countries, they experience different cultures and meet local communities. These experiences can create curiosity and respect for Islam. Some Japanese people who study Islam eventually decide to become Muslim. Their reasons are personal and different from one person to another. Some are attracted by spiritual beliefs, while others appreciate the lifestyle and values they discover. However, it is important to understand that these people represent a small part of Japanese society. The majority of Japanese people still follow their own traditions or do not practice a religion. The story of Islam in Japan is not about replacing one culture with another. It is about people learning from each other, sharing ideas, and building connections between different communities. Japan remains a country with its own identity, but it is also a place where different cultures and religions can meet. In the next part, we will explore the daily life of Muslims living in Japan and the challenges they face in Japanese society. Part 4. The life of Muslims living in Japan. Japan is known as a country with a strong culture, modern cities, and traditional values. For Muslims who live there, life in Japan can be a unique experience. They become part of Japanese society while also trying to follow their religious beliefs and traditions. Muslims living in Japan come from different backgrounds. Some are Japanese people who accepted Islam, while others come from countries such as Indonesia, Malaysia, Turkey, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and many other places. They live, work, and study together with Japanese people. One important part of Muslim life is finding places where they can practice their faith. Over the years, more mosques and Islamic centers have been created in Japan. These places are not only for prayer, but also for education, community meetings, and helping new Muslims understand their religion. However, being a Muslim in Japan can sometimes be challenging. Japan has a different culture from many Muslim countries. For example, finding halal food can be difficult in some areas, especially outside big cities. Some Muslims need to carefully check ingredients before eating because many Japanese foods contain items that may not fit their religious requirements. Another challenge is understanding social customs. Japanese society has many traditions, such as bowing, working long hours, and following certain rules in public places. Muslims living in Japan often learn how to respect Japanese culture while keeping their own religious identity. Prayer times can also be difficult for some Muslim workers and students. In Japan, people usually have busy schedules, and some workplaces may not have special spaces for prayer. Many Muslims find solutions by planning their time carefully and communicating with others. Despite these challenges, many Muslims say that Japan is a peaceful and respectful country. Japanese people are often curious and polite when learning about different cultures. Many communities are becoming more open to diversity. In recent years, Japan has also become more welcoming to Muslim visitors. Airports, hotels, and restaurants in some areas have started providing more services for Muslim travelers. Halal restaurants have increased, and information about Islamic culture has become easier to find. Muslims in Japan continue to build bridges between cultures. They show that it is possible to respect another country's traditions while also keeping your own beliefs. The story of Muslims in Japan is a story of patience, adaptation, and understanding. It shows how people from different backgrounds can live together peacefully. In the next part, we will discover the growth of mosques, halal businesses, and the future of Islam in Japan. Part 5. The growth of mosques and Islamic communities in Japan. When many people think about Japan, they often imagine modern cities, technology, anime, traditional temples, and beautiful landscapes. They may not immediately think about Islam. However, behind the busy streets of Japan, a small but growing Muslim community continues to develop. Over the years, the number of mosques and Islamic centers in Japan has increased. These places have become important for Muslims who live in the country. They provide spaces for prayer, learning, community events, and cultural exchange. The first major mosque in Japan was built in Tokyo in the early 20th century. Since then, more mosques have appeared in different cities. Today, Muslims can find Islamic communities in places such as Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto, Nagoya, and other areas. Mosques in Japan are not only places for worship, they also help people understand Islam better. Many mosques organize events where Japanese visitors can learn about Muslim traditions, food, history, and daily life. Another important change is the growth of halal businesses. As more Muslims visit and live in Japan, the need for halal food has increased. Some restaurants now offer halal Japanese dishes, allowing Muslims to enjoy Japanese cuisine while following their beliefs. The tourism industry has also noticed this change. Japan welcomes millions of visitors from around the world, including many from Muslim-majority countries. Because of this, some hotels, airports, and tourist areas have started offering services that are more comfortable for Muslim travelers. Education has also played a role in bringing people together. Some Japanese universities have international students from Muslim countries. Through friendships and cultural activities, Japanese students and Muslim students learn from each other and share their experiences. Social media has made this connection even stronger. People can now share stories about Muslim life in Japan with the whole world. Videos, blogs, and online communities help others understand what it is like to be Muslim in Japanese society. However, even with this growth, Islam remains a small religion in Japan. The country has not become a Muslim nation, and the majority of Japanese people still follow their traditional beliefs or do not follow a religion. The growth of Islam in Japan is not about changing Japan completely. It is about diversity, communication, and people from different backgrounds living together. Japan shows an interesting example of how a country can keep its own identity while welcoming new cultures and ideas. In the next part, we will explore the history of Japanese people who accepted Islam and their personal journeys. Part 6. Japanese people who accepted Islam. Japan has a long history, and its culture has been shaped by many traditions. For most of history, Islam was not a major part of Japanese society. However, Over time, some Japanese people became interested in Islam and decided to learn more about it. The journey of every person who accepts Islam is different. Some people discover Islam through friendships with Muslims, while others learn about it through books, the internet, travel, or studying different religions. For some Japanese people, their first connection with Islam happens when they meet Muslims from other countries. They see how Muslims live, how they treat their families, and how their faith influences their daily lives. This curiosity encourages them to ask questions and explore more. Some people are attracted to the ideas of Islam, such as the importance of helping others, honesty, patience, kindness, and responsibility. They find these values meaningful and want to understand the religion more deeply. Others discover Islam while traveling to Muslim countries. When they visit places such as Turkey, Malaysia, Indonesia, or other countries, they experience Muslim cultures directly. They meet local people, see mosques, and learn about Islamic traditions. The internet has also made learning easier. Today, anyone can access information about Islam from around the world. Japanese people can watch educational videos, read articles, and communicate with Muslims online. When some Japanese people become Muslim, they often continue respecting Japanese culture. They may still enjoy Japanese traditions, food, language, and customs while also following their religious beliefs. However, becoming Muslim in Japan can sometimes bring challenges. Because Islam is a minority religion, some new Muslims may need time to explain their choices to family members or friends who are unfamiliar with Islam. Family relationships can be especially important in Japanese culture. Some people need patience and understanding when sharing their new beliefs with others. Many try to show Islam through their actions, kindness, and good character. The number of Japanese Muslims remains small compared to the total population of Japan, but their stories show that religion and culture can connect people in unexpected ways. The story of Japanese Muslims is not a story about changing Japan into another country. It is a story about personal choices, understanding, and people searching for meaning in their lives. In the final part, we will look at the future of Islam in Japan and answer the main question: will Japan ever become a Muslim country? Part 7. The future of Islam in Japan. Will Japan become Muslim? After learning about the history of Islam in Japan, the growth of Muslim communities, and the stories of Japanese people who became Muslim, one important question remains: will Japan ever become a Muslim country? The answer is that nobody can know exactly what will happen in the future. However, today, Japan is still not a Muslim country. The majority of Japanese people follow traditional beliefs, such as Shinto and Buddhism, or they do not follow a specific religion. Islam in Japan is growing slowly, but it is still a small part of Japanese society. The number of Muslims has increased because of international students, workers, visitors, and some Japanese people who have accepted Islam. The future of Islam in Japan will likely depend on many things. One important factor is how different communities continue to understand and respect each other. When people learn about each other's cultures and beliefs, it can create stronger connections. Japan is known for accepting new ideas while protecting its own traditions. Throughout history, Japan has learned from other countries in areas like science, technology, food, and culture. Religion is also one area where people can share knowledge and experiences. Many Muslims living in Japan hope to be a positive part of society. They work, study, create businesses, and build friendships with Japanese people. They show that someone can respect Japanese culture while also following Islam. At the same time, most Japanese people are not looking to change their religious identity. Japan has its own unique history and traditions that remain important to its people. So, did Japan become a Muslim country? No, Japan is not a Muslim country, but Islam is becoming more visible in Japan, and more people are learning about it. The story of Islam in Japan is not only about religion, it is about people, cultures, and the connection between different parts of the world. A country does not become different only because a new religion appears. Change happens through people, understanding, and time. Japan today remains Japan, a country of ancient traditions, modern technology, and a society where different cultures continue to meet. This is the truth about Islam in Japan, a story of history, curiosity, and cultural connection. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share for more interesting stories from around the world.